What do we call the part of Earth's surface with characteristics that distinguish it from other areas, such as rock structure, elevation, degree of slope, and stream drainage pattern?
Good thinking. Landscape region is the right answer.
Highway drainage is important I to facilitate the removal of surface water in the shortest possible time to provide adequate flow of water away from road surface to prevent damage to the pavement structure to lower the risk of injury to road users.
Smart pick. I, E, E, and AV is the correct choice.
Which drainage pattern forms on a dome with layers of different compositions which erode at different rates? Examples: Esopus Creek, Nyan Black Hills, St.
Exactly. Annular drainage makes sense, and it is right choice.
Which drainage pattern develops in areas with bedrock tilted or folded into ridges? Example: Central Adirondack Mountains.
You got it. Your choice, trellis or rectangular drainage, is right.
When the streams flow in different directions from a central peak or dome-like structure, a dash pattern is developed.
Excellent choice. Radial drainage pattern is the right answer.
Which drainage pattern is seen on mountain tops or volcanoes with uniform composition? Example: Rim of the Adirondacks.
Correct response. Radial drainage is the most accurate answer.
Which drainage pattern looks like a tree and is found on flat strata of uniform bedrock? Example: Appalachian Plateau.
Strong choice. Dendritic drainage is the right answer.
Which kind of a drainage pattern is formed when tributaries join rivers at almost right angles?
Solid response. Trellis drainage is a valid choice.
Which one of the following describes the drainage patterns resembling the branches of a tree?
Perfect. Dendritic is the correct choice.
Disposal material: the excavation results must be moved evenly and neatly, and the position of exciting disposal material must be distance from the edge of the drainage.
Great thinking. A 1 meter is the right choice.
What do we call the location of rivers in an area based on bedrock structure?
You're right. Drainage pattern is the correct answer.
Which of the following bridge standards covers workmanship on building sites? With Part 13 covering the installation of drainage and sanitation systems.
Smart move. BS 8013 is an accurate answer.
The area drained by a single river system is called as?
Right again. Drainage basin is a valid answer.
What drainage pattern is shown in the picture below?
Nice selection. Trellised is the correct and valid answer.
The world's largest drainage basin is of the dash.
Nice work. You chose Amazon River, and it is correct.
This pattern most closely resembles dash drainage.
Nicely done. Dendritic is a solid answer.
Identify the most prominent drainage pattern.
Good job. Your answer, dendritic drainage, works well here.
What type of drainage pattern would you expect to find where rapid weathering along joints in bedrock controls the course of streams?
Air. Correct. Rectangular is the right answer.
Any elevated area, such as a mountain or an upland, separates two drainage basins. Such an upland is known as a dash.
Valid point. Water divide is true.
Dash are transition structures used to facilitate changes in level and direction of flow within a drainage system.
Great job. Sumps is the accurate answer.
What is the term for the network of tributaries that connect to the main river channel in a drainage basin?
Bravo. Channel network is the answer.
Which stream pattern will occur over a relatively flat surface with loose, unconsolidated sediments?
On track. Dendritic drainage is the correct answer.
Which one of the following describes the drainage patterns resembling the branches of a tree?
You chose dendritic, and it is correct.
The dash is an area of land that separates water flowing into different drainage basins.
Excellent. Watershed is a brilliant choice.
The drainage basins of the peninsula rivers in comparison to the Himalayan rivers are.
Clear logic. Your choice smaller in size is sound and 100% true.
Which type of drainage system typically uses one pipe for both surface and foul water?
Well done. Combined is the right choice. A dash is a smaller stream river that contributes to the main river, a drainage basin.
Well reasoned. Tributary is the correct choice.
In which pattern the tributaries can be seen meeting the main stream at right angle? Right choice. Trellis drainage is the best answer.
A dash is the area of land drained by a river system.
Well picked. Drainage basin is the correct answer. The British standard that cover gravity drainage systems within the building is. Sharp thinking. B's 12056 is the right choice.
What is the term for the loss of water from a drainage basin in various forms?
Smart move. Outputs is an accurate answer. Which one of the following rivers has the largest drainage pattern in India? Well done. The Ganga is the right choice. Name the drainage pattern given in the northwest region of the map extract. Correct. Radial is the right answer.
What are the drainage patterns formed in grids 6535 and 6734 respectively?
You're right. 2. Dendritic and radial is the correct answer.
What environmental issues can occur when installing a drainage system?
Clear logic. Your choice damage to roots and surrounding vegetation is sound and 100% true.
What is an area of land drained by a main river and its tributaries?
Nice work. You chose drainage basin and it is correct.
What type of drainage pattern would you expect to find on a volcano?
Right choice. Radial is the best answer.
Which type of drainage pattern is formed by the Ganga River system?
Great job. Dendritic is the accurate answer.
What influences the character and development of a drainage basin?
Exactly. Climate, vegetation, soil structure, and land use makes sense, and it is right choice. Which of the descriptions below best describes the term drainage? You chose the removal of water, and it is correct. How could a site be identified as requiring some type of drainage? Solid response. Water pooling, poor soil, plant die-off, found at ion problems is a valid choice. The area drained by a single river system is called a dash basin. Strong choice. Drainage is the right answer. Which building regulation deals with drainage and waste disposal?
Correct response. Dossier H is the most accurate answer.
What is an upland that separates two drainage basins, known as?
Nice selection. Water divide is the correct and valid answer.
The drainage basin of the Mahanadi is not shared by dash. Excellent. Madhya Pradesh is a brilliant choice. How many types of drainage patterns did we learn about? You got it. Your choice 3 is right. What is the purpose of a watershed in a drainage basin? Sharp thinking. To separate different drainage basins is the right choice.
Which of the following is an input to a drainage basin?
Well picked. Precipitation is the correct answer. Drainage basin of Krishna River is not shared by dash.
Nicely done. Tamil Nadu is a solid answer. What marks the boundary between two drainage basins?
On track. A watershed is the correct answer.
Drainage pattern shown in the given figure is dash.
Smart pick. Radial is the correct choice. What building regulations cover drainage systems?
Excellent choice. Part H and G is the right answer.
Which drainage must not be used intra-abdominal?
Well reasoned. Read-on drainage is the correct choice.
Drainage behind a retaining wall should include.
Right again. Waterproofing, Aggie pipe, geofabric, screenings is a valid answer. Which statements do not match passive drainage? Bravo. Negative pressure is the answer. What is the drainage pattern in grid 231? Perfect. 3. Trellis is the correct choice. A combined system of drainage discharges. Good thinking. Full water from sinks, baths, toilets, yard gullies at sea is the right answer. Which is world's largest drainage basin? Great thinking. Amazon is the right choice. The preferred bricks for a manhole are. Valid point. Engineering is true. Drainage basins are separated by dash. Good job. Your answer watersheds works well here. The world's largest drainage basin is. Excellent choice. Amazon basin is the right answer. Identify the drainage pattern in 9327. On track. Dendritic is the correct answer. What is the minimum fall for drainage? Bravo. 200 is the answer. What is evapotranspiration? Good job. Your answer water that returns to the atmosphere through plants works well here. Drainage area of a river. Solid response. River basin is a valid choice. For suction drainage dash. Valid point. PVC is true. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. You got it. Your choice contact Narayan Changdar is right.